Roses are red, rhythm and blues, Afro with beats, hip and hop. You're listening to the Chacha Music Review Podcast with Hafeestonova, the musical plug, the creator of the Energy First African Music Amplifier.
I first of all apologize to you guys for, doing this album review very, very late because this is definitely one of my best albums. And the reason why I could not even review this album on time is because I really didn't know how to talk about this album without sounding repetitive or sounding biased. Now, if I say this album sweet, it will definitely be an understatement. And if I say this is Buju best album yet, some of you might think, oh, I'm capping. But then again, I shouldn't have kept this album, or I shouldn't have not done a review of this album, because anytime I do review, I try as much as I can. In fact, 99% of the time, I stay very, very on point. Regardless of whether I like the artist or not, I say the truth and I let you guys, decide whether I'm capping or I'm not capping, and I should have done that, on this album. So let's get into the album. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, this album coming from Buju, which is titled Captain. The album was released on the 3rd of July 2025, and the album has 16 tracks. The album features the likes of Sheyi Vibe, Fola, Rema, Victoni, Soweto Gospel Choir, and then the album was produced by Rhymes, Larry Lanes, Wujigi, J Miller, Lily Kampla. You have Young So, you have Tuzi, you have Blaze Beat, you have KLP, you have K the Great, and you have Gemini Major, and you have CSR. Those were the people that worked on the album. Now, from the very first record, right, this album felt very, very intentional. Benson wasn't, chasing moments on this album. It was documenting a season. Now, this is an artist who has seen the chaos in this industry, survive it, and then now sings like someone who understands where he is heading to. This album is an album that lives in emotion and not urgency. From Afrobeats, Afro-fusion, soft R&B texture, all blended with restraint. There is nothing forced on this album. Try to overdo himself. Try to, outshine, himself, on this album. This album is not begging for a TikTok viral moment or an Instagram, viral post. No, this album is a statement on its own. And Captain, this album is a statement on its own. Now, that is not to say that this album is like an invention of Benson. No. I'm not saying that, right? Just that the album itself leaned into Buju's vulnerability, and that was the strength of this album. There is no unnecessary flexing. The album is very, very cohesive. As a matter of fact, too cohesive in my own liking, but it flows like a single thought, right? Which makes it immersive. But also at the same time, if you are just a casual listener, you might miss the individual moments if you're not paying attention, to the album. So it's an album that you have to pay attention to. No be album where you go on rush listen to. No be album where you say you go just want quickly vibe to. An album where you say you guys take your time, you guys chill for you to appreciate the talent and the amount of work, that was put into the album. If you are looking for something that is radically sonic or evolutional, right? This album is not going to give you that, right? This album is an album that chose clarity over chaos and comfort over disrupt, right? Now, Captain is not about, oh, I want to show the world that I have arrived. No, it's about, I want to control the narrative. I want to let the people know I got this and this is me. Benson sounds like an artist that knows his lane, respect his audience, and then trust his instinct. This album would not scream for attention, but it will stay with you longer. The album, we say, the more you listen to the album, the more you continue to like the album and the more you continue to appreciate the album. Every song, when you listen to it, sounds like you're listening to the song for the first time. Did I hear this song before? Did I hear this song before? Now, so the album could do you. And once everything takes total control of your body, trust me, you are not going to let go. You just have to keep listening to the album, keep listening to the album, keep listening to the album until you can't stop listening to the album. I like every song on this album. I'm not even going to lie to you. But most of my favorite songs that anytime I hear these songs, I gotta play them like 3, 4, 5 times before I even let the next song go. The first one is I Alone, which is the first song on the album. The second one is Set Up, which Shea Vibe, another lovely production. Other song is 5 Hours to Nairobi. And yo, shout out to KLP, for the production of the song. The beats, the opening of the beats felt like an empty airport terminal had done, right? There was minimal drums. It was soft. Nothing is competing for attention. Everything just go like that, right? Another thing I like is how subtle the bass of the song is. It's almost as if it's shying away, from the beat itself. And it allowed the song to have this emotional presence equally. Now, if you don't listen to this song carefully, again, you will not appreciate the amount of work that was done on the production of the song. And of course, on that song that I like on this album is the one he featured Rema, Fikon Wekon. And you already know my thoughts. Rema killed Buju on this song, but notwithstanding, this is that song that I like on the album. Another song I like is Cough Syrup, which features Victoni on that classic collabo. Now, if you have not listened to this album, now beg you, I beg, you don't hear my review. But yeah, stop whatever it is that you're doing right now, go listen to the album and then come back and tell me if I am capping or not. But like I said, you have to take your time to listen to this album because this album is a slow burner. It will enter you slowly. And once it don't enter, you finish. You won't be able to stop it. You won't be able to stop it. That's how sweet this album titled Captain from Buju is. With that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, members of the Chacha Nation, I have come to the end of this episode of the Chacha album review series on the Chacha Music Review Podcast. Like, come here with on the episode. My name will always remain Hafeestonova, your musical plug, the creator of the Energy Force, and of course, the African Music Amplifier. In whatever you do, make sure you listen to some music. It helps a lot.
They wanna know. 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 Hafeestonova. They wanna know.